Mimpi itu bernama Teks Asli Perjanjian Baru.
Kita harus kasih tahu kepada dunia ini secara terbuka bahwa tidak ada naskah asli Alkitab. Tidak ada. Meskipun tidak ada, kekristenan diberkati oleh Tuhan dengan memiliki ribuan salinan. Untuk bahasa Yunani saja lebih dari 5.000 salinan. Kita belum bicara tentang salinan-salinan dalam bentuk terjemahan bahasa-bahasa kuno seperti bahasa Latin, bahasa-bahasa kuno yang lain. Itu kita belum bicara tentang itu. Dari sekian ribu salinan itu, semua salinan itu memiliki varian tekstual. Dan itulah sebabnya ilmu kritik tekstual diperlukan untuk merekonstruksi berdasarkan salinan-salinan itu, tapi juga berdasarkan sumber-sumber yang lain seperti kutipan-kutipan di dalam tulisan bapak-bapak gereja.
Is it possible to reconstruct the lost original manuscripts of New Testament?
94% of our surviving manuscripts come from the 9th century and later. We have the quotations of the church fathers that he talked about. We have church fathers from the 2nd century who quote the New Testament all over the map. And in virtually every instance that they quote every instance that you have an author quoting the New Testament, the author has a different text from the text that's come down to us in the manuscripts. Whether we can reconstruct the originals that have been lost. Can we reconstruct them or not? For many years, I thought that the answer was yes. But scholarship changed, and it became widely thought among scholars that we cannot reconstruct the original, and that it does not even make sense to talk about the originals. I started to understand why, and now I'm convinced. First, number of mistakes. We have 5,500 manuscripts of the New Testament. It is striking that when you compare these with one another in detail, no two of them are exactly alike. 4th century manuscripts differ significantly from the manuscripts of the 9th century. If they differ significantly from the 9th century manuscripts, why should we think that they are very similar to the manuscripts of the 1st century? We simply can't tell because we don't have any 1st century manuscripts to compare them to. William Peterson, who argues in essay after essay that it does not make sense for us any longer to talk about the original text. Eldon Epp, he also has written essays arguing that it no longer makes sense to talk about the original text. Anne-Marie Lyondike, she also does not think that it makes sense to talk about the original text. Kim Haynes-Eitzen, she also does not think that we can talk about getting back to the original text. David Parker, arguing that you cannot get back to the original text and it doesn't make sense to talk about the original text. These are not extreme views. These are the views of the leading scholars in the English-speaking world.
Conclusion. It is absolutely impossible to reconstruct the lost original manuscripts of New Testament. It's impossible to know who wrote them, where it was written, and what was written in it.